Hello there, I'm Big Alias, and it's a bit of a sad one today. Bit of a down in the dumps video. This is disappointing. I just found out that Rooster Teeth is closing. They're shutting their doors. Warner Brothers are closing them down. I say they're shutting their doors. Warner Brothers are closing them down. Somehow this channel outlived Rooster Teeth, which is just bizarre. It's a channel I've mentioned them in passing quite a bit on this channel. Every now and then, I brought them up, but I cannot emphasize how influential and how huge a part of my life this channel was rather in my past, and I guess still to this day. I mean, if you look back around about 2012, you'll see how you can definitely tell when I found Rooster Teeth, when I absolutely fell in love with the company and the channels and what have you. Things really changed. It became very influential on this channel. I wanted to be part of a group. It's the whole reason I decided to team up with Tom and Luke and make a group channel with them. It was that kind of dynamic, and I wanted to be a part of it. It was hugely influential for me. I mean, I started watching them. I mean, I was aware of them around about 2010, and then for a couple of years I was on and off with them between 2010 and 2012. Then 2012 they made, it was Let's Play Part 2, Let's Play Minecraft Part 2, and I think that was the one that I discovered. And I think it was very important that I discovered that video, because of all of the videos that Rooster Teeth have ever made, or Let's Play, or any of the people involved, Achievement Hunter and stuff like that, I've never seen a video from them where it felt so much like just a bunch of guys hanging out and having fun and just chilling. I've never seen anything quite like it on the channel or any other channel, and that's what really drew me in, and that's very important. I knew that they existed. I knew Jack and Jeff, and so on and so forth. Michael, I knew Rage Quit, but when I saw that video, when I saw the Let's Play video, the Minecraft video, I had a feeling that they were all just sat in an apartment drinking beer, playing a fun video game, and that was really important to me. That was so entertaining, and I absolutely adored it. And after that, I progressed on. I moved on to other Rooster Teeth products. I continued with the channel. I would come back for the other Let's Plays, and I found I rewatched Red vs. Blue, and I actually watched it in its entirety at the time. And that is a show where, if it had ended with the season that ends on Reach for the first time, it will be a masterpiece show. Unfortunately, it went on for a bit too long. The shorts I fell in love with. Immersion is tremendous, and the podcast, which was a very important part of it too, because it kind of was the glue that held everything together and linked me to the people rather than just the content in the channel. And when I discovered all of that and everyone became compartmentalized, I noticed that what made the channel so brilliant and what made that Let's Play so brilliant was that by freak accident, all of these people that they hired to do individual things happened to have perfect chemistry and embody different things that played off of the other things absolutely perfectly. You had Jeff, who was like the disappointed father. You had Jack, who was the wannabe overachieving son who always takes everything too seriously. You got Michael, who's the sugared up teenager who's like, go, 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 go. You've got Ray, who's just consumed the internet and become the internet and is just constantly dropping references to it. And of course you've got the Catalyst, you've got Gavin, who I always thought was one of the funniest people on the planet, absolutely hilarious, and added that spice to the group that was absolutely needed. Something about him being British just completely, set things off. Also, his just overall persona was just fantastic. Obviously, it was always an act. From the podcast, I always get the impression that Gavin was very inspired by Carl Pilkington, and I definitely get that vibe from when he was playing the games, and it was just absolutely tremendous. It was absolutely hilarious. That on top of the fact that the production was fantastic. They were using multicam where most people weren't at the time. They were shooting in HD. Everyone was overlapping with everyone else. It was cut to perfection. They were just excellent. Some of the best Let's Plays, some of the best videos on the internet. But obviously, things were never going to last. I took a couple of years off from the channel, and when I came back in 2016, I want to say, I'm pretty sure it was early 2016, I came back to the channel and I was like, okay, let's have a look, let's see what they're up to. And I was just not happy, a little bit overwhelmed, a little bit confused, and I'm looking for like that fun time that I had. I'm looking for these people, between the 2012 and 2013 era, and I'm looking for them, and it's like, oh, here they are. But here's like 3 other people you've never met. Here's a classic Jack and Jeff episode. Also 4 people you don't know. And unfortunately, they brought on all of these people, and it's a bit of a catch-22 because I'm glad that they were able to find them and, make them a part of the team, and these people were able to find work and entertain people, and I'm sure people absolutely loved having them there. But unfortunately, it just became the antithesis of what made it so good to begin with, whereas like it just felt like a bunch of people hanging out and having fun, and everyone played off of one another so well. They just added to the pit, added until it just became overwhelming. Too many cooks in the kitchen, too much piss in the broth, just too many people. And unfortunately, I think for me, like everyone has their own theory as to what happened with Rooster Teeth. It's definitely like a case study for a lot of people. For me, it was, I feel as though they were a bit of a snake eating their own tail, a little bit overly ambitious, people killed by their own ambition. And unfortunately, I think they just tried to create, in expanding as much as they did, they would have to overwrite what made them so great to begin with, and unfortunately I think that's what happened here. I would come back to the channel and be like, oh, I don't really follow these people, I don't really care for these people, can we get one with the Achievement Hunter guy, please, can we just do that? And then every time they were featured in a video, there were people with them who I just didn't care for, I wasn't really entertained by. They had the core crew, and I just didn't gel with everyone else. But of course, on top of this, there are other issues. A lot of people would blame the failure of the company on, obviously, a political shift. I'm not going to get too into that. I will say that it doesn't surprise me that they wouldn't survive the current alt-right trend that's going on right now. It's very trendy to be uber conservative, and that's not the path they took. Though I will say, prior to them taking the left-wing approach that they took, I noticed that things were already heading into the can, and nowhere near as popular as they were, from what I could tell, at least. So, 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. A lot of people would blame the allegations. I don't know. I mean, allegations happen with everything. If anything, that would spark more interest in things. A lot of people use controversies and allegations to keep their careers going. I mean, look at Ben Shapiro and Tom O'Donnell. They use being hated to their advantage. That can always be the case, and it just didn't happen here. Ultimately, I think, like I said, it was just a case of over-ambition that led to a snake eating their own tail. I do think that their style... honestly, I think they got quite lucky. Obviously, Montiel made... rest in peace, made Ruby, which kept people going and kept interest going. They made the Let's Plays in 2012, which kept people going. But you can't keep striking gold like that, and I don't think you can keep coming, heading in the correct direction to keep expanding and maintaining relevancy. You just can't keep doing that over and over again. I also think that their style of content isn't really what's celebrated at the moment. It very much celebrates games. A Let's Play format is something that has fun with games and enjoys games, and I think currently the landscape is very negative around gaming, in that a lot of people aren't very happy with like the live service approach to video games at the moment, and they're not making that style of content. They're not complaining about things, is what I'm trying to say. They're not video essayers, so obviously it will be tough to like battle through all of that with all this positive fist bumping, yeah, we did it, content that would have been relevant back then because people enjoyed gaming back then, but it doesn't seem to be the case anymore. But yeah, it's just, it was inevitable. It was always, listen, they had 2 decades of success, and they expanded in a way that no other business, no other entertainment platform on the internet, I think, ever has. I think they're one of the biggest success stories of all time on the internet, but something like that is never going to last. The half-life on a company online is always going to be shorter than anywhere else, and particularly with entertainment that's always shifting, as this always is. So, great time for a notification. I do want to thank Rooster Teeth for being that comfort for a long time, providing me with so much entertainment. I still go back to the old stuff all the time. I can't really stomach the new stuff, but the old stuff I do. It was an absolutely amazing ride, but it's over now, and well, that's it. So I'll see everyone later.
The PlayStation's only $149, and you can also get leading titles.